Hello and welcome back to Real French Connections. Today we're in the little town of Limoges, which is exquisitely pretty, and we're here to talk to Tash, who moved here from New Zealand. So here you are then, 6 months in, waking up feeling great about being in France.
Yeah.
Let's go back. You said you'd been planning this for 2 years. What was the thing that made you start planning? Do you remember the day?
I've obviously been thinking about moving to France for a very long time, based on being able to afford living in the countryside comfortably.
And not possible in New Zealand?
Not as easy, no.
Okay.
Even moving out to countryside places in New Zealand is quite expensive now.
Right.
Yeah.
So a desire to be in the countryside. You have come from absolutely the opposite side of the world.
Yes.
There are countrysides in between.
France, I love the language.
Yep.
I love the culture. It's a beautiful country. I'm very fond of the UK as well, but of course that's expensive too.
Yep.
Geographically, France and the UK, there's similarities. There's that beauty, like this the spring green. We don't have this real spring green in New Zealand. We get some of it,
Yeah.
but New Zealand green is a much deeper colour.
Also, you have green all year round, don't you?
We do have green.
So it feels, even though there is some green all year round, the real green happens now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Punches you in the face. It's just absolutely stunning. I mean, the leaves up here, it's just the light.
And the sound of the water is just so soothing. So, okay, so you decided that it looked as though living in countryside New Zealand was going to be unaffordable. So France was your choice. And then what did you do? Because that's a big difference between deciding to do it
And
actually doing it.
Well, I was studying French again, Alliance Française. I was looking up places to live in.
Right.
I'd sort of settled on the Charente area, and I'm just a squidge over from the Charente and the Haute-Vienne, the same general geographical area. And I'd found a website, and it was actually talking about a town called Ruffec, which is another place. I could have lived in Ruffec because the swimming pool is within 10 minutes walk of the centre of town.
So the swimming pool, though, plays... let's just talk about the swimming pool before we go on. Why the swimming pool?
Because I absolutely love my swimming. Yeah. So good for the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to be somewhere where I could immerse myself completely in water. Not
the fast-flowing
I didn't even know
Vienne.
you're allowed to swim in here, so probably not going to go in there.
So swimming pool, high on the list, top of the priorities.
Absolute top of the priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could have lived in Ruffec?
Ruffec.
Ruffec.
Yeah. Smaller town,
Yeah.
fewer options on the apartments.
Yeah.
And it sort of occurred to me too that the level of French I would need would probably be higher in a smaller town.
Interesting.
Potentially. Maybe not, I don't know. But I thought, in a bigger town was just probably more opportunities to, I don't know, improve my French without having to dive in completely head first. In the process of looking at these places where I might want to live, I came across French Connections HCB.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you looked at what French Connections could do for you.
Yes. Because I was like, I'm going to need to get a visa.
Yeah.
There's all these other things I'm going to need to do. I can look at the French government website and, I can figure stuff out. But this is an enormous task to do. And, French bureaucracy, how long is a piece of string, all of that stuff. I needed someone to help me out. And they'd have this smorgasbord of services.
Right. What did you choose from the smorgasbord?
The whole lot.
Oh, the whole lot.
The whole lot. I'm just like, give me it all. Give me it all. I'm going to need a hand with all of this stuff.
So in what order did things happen?
Process of applying for the visa tied in with making sure I had some medical insurance because you need that for the visa.
Oh, yeah.
So that whole visa process. And next came finding somewhere to live.
Yeah. Which isn't easy, is it, when you're coming from overseas?
It's not easy. I mean, you can understand it from a landlord's point of view.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't yet have a visa, let alone a residency, says, can you give me somewhere to live? And they're like, well,
what guarantee?
Are you actually going to arrive?
Yeah.
The team was so helpful in that. Yeah, I could not have done that without them.
So how did you write a sort of brief of the type of place you wanted? And in fact, Limoges, you chose. Did you give French Connections the brief of find me a place in Limoges, and why Limoges?
I did. I said Limoges because there are 3 swimming pools that are open all year round. So I'm guaranteed to be a living walking distance of at least one of them.
Yeah.
Right. Odds are there'll be one within walking distance. So I said, I just need a small apartment.
Yeah.
It's got to be within walking distance of the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
That can be 30 minutes walk. That's fine. No problem. It's within walking distance of the swimming pool. And they delivered. It just, my little place is 15 minutes walk to a lovely little pool.
Fantastic.
And I can get to a bigger pool via the bus. It's just, I'm right in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Everything.
So everything's on your doorstep.
Absolutely on my doorstep.
And how does it feel to be living in a place where every corner you turn, every rooftop you look, every little alley you go down is living history, isn't it? How does that feel?
It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, just walking along the cobbled streets and you're just going, I don't know quite how old these cobbles are, whether they've been replaced, who knows. They actually did an archaeological dig at the top of my street a few weeks ago because they're doing a bunch of street work. But, they get the archaeologists in first to go through and document things and retrieve things if they're worth retrieving, and then they fill it all back in again.
Wow, so it's still there. You're still living on top of history, aren't you? Ancient history.
There were not actually humans in New Zealand at the time. There were people living in Limoges. It's such a young country.
Extraordinary though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have that sense of, you must have that sense of history on, just looking over there, there's the edge of a chateau or the church tower.
Oh, yes, you can see the cathedral.
Everywhere you look, there's something old and precious and valuable and steeped in history, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't always look.
No.
I sort of, spend the first week or so walking around, looking up and falling over things and gazing at the buildings and looking like a complete tourist, I'm sure.
Nothing wrong with that. And really, anything that you really miss from New Zealand?
Whittaker's creamy milk chocolate.
Anybody coming over must bring it.
Mind you, the mint milk chocolate.
There you go. Found a local alternative.
No,
there's always an alternative, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm in France. If I can't find good chocolate, there's something wrong.
So not much, really. There's not much that you're missing.
No. I do miss being by the sea.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm an Aucklander and I'm very used to. I mean, Auckland's the narrowest strip of New Zealand. Well, I mean, further up north is narrow, but for a highly populated area, it's a tiny bit of land between two seas.
Yeah.
So I do miss that.
Yes.
But I can get out to the coast in France, and I've still got my moving water here with the
you
river,
do,
and I've
certainly.
got my swimming pool, so yeah.
So that will definitely do for now.
That will definitely do for now. I mean, I'm in France. Let's not get too picky.
You're in France.
Oh, I missed the sea while you're in France. Yeah.
I'm glad you're in France, Tash. It's such a good story. You planned it for so long and it worked out to be everything you wanted it to be.
Yes.
Which has got to be a success story, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Anything you would do differently in retrospect? If you were giving some advice to people maybe thinking of moving over, that you would say you would have approached differently or handled differently?
I think only perhaps build up some more savings than what I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just gives you that bit of buffer, because there's always something else that'll come up that you need to pay for.
Yeah.
And just being able to go, I can do that, as opposed to let me just rejig things a bit and then I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good advice.
For any move, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's quite key if you're moving to the other side of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good advice. And just tell us a bit, because I know, because you told me that you're writing a book.
Well, it is a coming-of-age novel, and it's set in the mid to late 1970s, partly because I do not understand modern teenagers, and I think life for modern teenagers must be really tough. Okay, so that was just too difficult.
Yeah.
Right. So set in the mid to late 1970s in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, okay.
In summertime. I think this may have been, I started writing in winter, so it made me a bit nostalgic.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking, yeah. Sunshine, the beach, camping, the things I was missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
how far through are you with the book?
Oh, very early. I'm being very slow with writing. Only about, 6 chapters, about 20,000 words, and we're still at the camping at the beach.
Okay. It's still day one.
It's about day 3, I think, and I'm like, this is moving really slowly. There may have to be a big editing job. Well, there will have to be a big editing job anyway, but yeah, it's really good that I'm writing again. It's definitely a sense I'm settled.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Having that flow of creativity. Limbo chapeau.
Did you buy your hat here?
No, this one is from Aotearoa in New Zealand, which has a French history. It was settled by French people.
Why were you there?
I was there on a French immersion weekend.
And you came back with the hat?
I came back with
which learnt a lot of vocabulary from me.
It did, and I consolidated my passé composé.
Wearing that hat?
Wearing the hat, yes.
I just love all these berries of every colour. I might fight you for the raspberry one.
It's such a gorgeous colour.
And here you get a great view of the church, too.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I can hear the Angelus being run.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, the spire. And inside, is it gorgeous?
I haven't been in yet.
We might have a sneaky peek.
We might have a sneaky peek. This is the very medieval part of the town. And when I was looking to move here, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing to live near that? And I didn't realise until I got here just how close I was.
Since October that you've been here.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I was going to say at home. I do feel at home here. Yeah.
Particularly here in the Cat Cafe.
With Tats, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But you do, so you feel settled. Because I think that you came going into winter. And now this is your first spring. It'll be your first summer. And I guess traditionally that's such an optimistic time of year, is it? The blossom is amazing.
It's so pretty here, the blossom. Yeah.
Is it beautiful? How you imagined it would be?
Do you know, I didn't do a lot of imagining of how it would be. And I don't know if that was some subconscious way of not having too high an expectation.
Yeah.
But I just, prior to leaving New Zealand, all I could think of was getting to the airport and getting on the plane. And whatever happened after that was just whatever was going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where I was living, really, when I left New Zealand.
Gosh.
I was doing the transfer of the rent deposit on the train between Paris and Limoges.
Cutting it a bit fine.
Cutting it a bit fine. My friend the other day, she said to me, oh, you chose your apartment really well. I said, I didn't choose it at all. It just happened to be the one that I prepared to rent to somebody who didn't have residency.
And is that how it worked? Did you actually come and see your place before? Did you actually see it before moving in?
No, because as it turned out, she liked my profile. My landlady liked my profile so much, she said, yes, I'll rent it to her. So I cancelled the Airbnb and got my refund back.
Amazing.
I landed in Paris, spent the night at the airport hotel because it was, 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Got on the train the next morning, came down, stowed my bags. I had to kind of forward, I had a secure bag storage. Wandered around Limoges, found where the apartment was, and then rendezvoused with my landlady at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and
moved in.
That's class.
It doesn't happen for everybody like that.
No, it was a very, very easy process. And she's lovely. She helped me set up my electricity and gas account the same night.
Nice.
Which was good.
Yeah. I love this architecture, don't you?
I do, yes.
Is that one of the things that, apart from the pools, that you were attracted to, this sort of...
Definitely. Very fond of architecture. Most of my photographs when I'm travelling is buildings. Yeah. Every now and again I look up and go, oh, I didn't realise there was that there, and wow, that's beautiful. And
are you sometimes surprised to find yourself here?
Oh, God, all the time.
Are you?
Yes. Every now and again I just go, I'm living in France, but it doesn't really compute. You're just like, I live here. Wait, what?
What a great feeling.
Yeah. So I come all the way across the world to get away from New Zealand rugby, and this is just up the road from my apartment. I was just like, you are kidding me, right? I'm in France, and there's this.
There's no escape.
There's no escape.
There's no escape.
Okay.
So Tash, what's the name of this church? It's beautiful.
It's the Basilique Saint-Michel-des-Lions.
St. Michael of the Lions.
Of the Lions. I can see the spire from my terrace. And of course, it's illuminated a little bit at night time, which is pretty. And then at Christmas time, they had a light and sound show projected up the entire spire.
Wow.
So you had animation going up and down and around.
Beautiful. So Christmassy.
It was so beautiful. Really, really. They had it on loop. So I actually stayed and watched the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
I realized that it was doing it again. I was like, oh, I haven't actually missed anything now.
It's stunning.
Absolutely stunning.
And then, this is beautiful. How did you discover this?
Just wandering around.
Wow.
Yes.
You are so lucky. You already spoke French before coming over, didn't you?
Un petit peu, oui. So I'd been studying with Alliance Française, New Zealand.
Okay.
Passed my A1 exam in October 23,
Yeah.
which is handy. And so around about A2, well, I am A2 level.
Okay.
It's passable, but obviously the most important phrase in French is bonjour.
That's so true.
And then my other most important phrase is mon français n'est pas bon.
Except A2.
Right.
That's good. Which isn't that really useful though when you're going to apply for residency?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, whenever I tell people that I don't speak very good French, tout le monde parle doucement.
There you go. It's a win-win.
And then sometimes they'll ask me if I speak English.
Okay.
Even if I say I'm from New Zealand, they say, oh, do you speak English? I'm like, oui, je parle anglais.
Are you still doing your course?
Not at the moment. I do need to study again, and I keep falling in love with the language.
And day to day though, if you're walking around town, are you finding that you're picking up vocabulary?
Definitely.
Yeah.
French has improved so much simply from going
from being here,
market and wherever else. And there's been a couple of times in shops people have asked me for help, and I've helped them, and I sincerely hope that I did help them, and I did just what they were asking me. Otherwise, they're walking out the door going, well, I don't know, they did that.
And do you think that you will stay in Limoges?
I'm pretty sure I want to move to the country at some point.
Okay.
I do miss being at least on the edge of the countryside.
Yeah.
But certainly for now, like when I first arrived, I thought, well, I'll start off here.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll stay very long.
Right.
Now I'm just going, oh yeah, this is my base. This is my base, and I will explore toute la France.
Fantastic.
From here.
Yeah, great. Instead of moving to different places. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had sort of thought I will, spend a whole 12 months in different quadrants of France, because of course the weather's different, the area is different, the people's different,
the architecture is different,
and the language is different. Yeah. I cannot understand people from the south of France. Okay.
So much of the middle of town is this medieval wooden buildings, isn't it? It's extraordinary. And tiny little streets.
Yes.
Tiny little ones. Lovely. Do you love them?
Absolutely. And I love the lanes that you get on the medieval buildings as well. My little mini city supermarket is right here, and it's got vaulted ceilings.
Vaulted as in this age? No. How did you discover that?
It took me a while because I hate supermarkets. I just go in and I get what I want. And there's this pillar And at one point, you've got to sort of edge past the pillar if someone else is standing in the aisle. I was like, oh, that's quite an old pillar. It's like, it's a really old pillar. And I looked up and went, wow, there's a vaulted ceiling. So I've been taking photos of the ceiling of my local supermarket.
Medieval supermarket.
Medieval supermarket.
In modern times.
Yes. It's just,
What must those ghosts be thinking? What do you know about the bridge?
well, this was built by the Romans. It's Gallo-Roman. And I think it was in 1182. Henri II destroyed the bridge. There was something that the people here did that annoyed him.
Really?
Can't quite remember what it was. He destroyed the bridge and they rebuilt it 30 years later, which would have been in 12 something.
Oh, so didn't lose much, did it? I wonder if they used the same stone.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Gosh, because this was the only crossing of La Vienne.
Really?
This one. Mm-hmm.
La Vienne, the river.
The river. Mm-hmm. Further up the river, there is Pont Saint-Etienne,
Yeah.
which was built, that comes down from basically the cathedral, the garden.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was built because they needed another crossing. Just having the one here was not enough. And of course, it's not that far, but I mean, if you're working hard in medieval times, it's unnecessarily long walk. Yeah.
So I wonder how on earth, how would people have got across the river with no bridge? Boat, I suppose, a little boat. Yeah, it's pretty fast flowing.
It's very fast flowing. In the winter time, when we had obviously rain further upriver,
Yeah.
it got quite high and it was
Did it?
very swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, it's actually quite low. Well, for my
Relatively.
experience, it's relatively low. Yeah, you can actually see the base of the bridge footings. The next bridge along, which is the Pont de la Revolution, I think.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, so you've got two road bridges,
Yep.
Pont Neuf and Pont Revolution, and the two pedestrian bridges, Pont Saint-Michel and
Love it.
Pont Saint-Etienne.
People have a way of walking across bridges, don't they? Old bridges. It's just really enjoying the bridge.
Yes.
You know, nobody here is striding.
I think that's also the French way, though.
Do you think so?
There is something with the French way of life, you know, they don't hurry.
Mm.
You know, if you're having a conversation with someone in the supermarket at the checkout, nobody's getting all huffy behind
That's
you.
true.
You know, in New Zealand, it's all rush, 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 rush. And you come here and it's just like, yeah, bonjour.
It takes the time. Oh.
And it's so nice. I mean, it's just, if you don't need to be rushing, why are you rushing?
Yeah.
I think with modern life, we just get so caught up with the do, make, achieve.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to just go, just live.
Is that something you had anticipated when you came over?
Yes.
That the change of pace?
Yes.
You had anticipated that. Was that one of the reasons you wanted to
One
move?
of the reasons I wanted to be in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so had you visited France before and knew that the pace of life was different?
For me, and I'm sure there's other races around the world that's the same, but for me, the French focus on what's important.
Yeah.
You know, the family
Mm-hmm.
and embracing what you have and enjoying what you have.
Yeah.
And the egalitarian society as well, you know. I mean, what I do love about the French is that if the government demands something of them and they say, that's not fair, we're not going to take it, they don't take it.
Yeah.
You know, the farmers blocking the roads with their trucks, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I love that.
Mm.
I'm just tired of people who just sort of lie down and go, oh, the government said this, so we just have to deal with it. I've obviously seen an uprising on that now, which is magnificent. But the French, you know, they stand up for what's right. So when I first moved here, I had a Post-it note and it said, note to self, you are living in France. Because you just, it sort of dawns on you. And you're just going, I'm here. I've been planning this for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am. And it's just, it's real. It's real. It's amazing. I walk around here and I look at this, you know, the bridges and buildings and the parks and the people, and I listen to the language, which I just love so much. And I just think, you did it. You did it.